What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of This Freakin' Show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. The same weekly podcast that is brought to you by Audible.com. Guys, if you're just like me and a huge fan of books, you're just not a huge fan of reading them books yourselves, Audible.com is the best place for you to go. It's the one-stop shop for all audiobooks. If you go to audibletrial.com/freaknet today, you can save yourself a 30-day free trial and a credit on your first book purchase. Holy shit, Joe, this is why you do the Audible now.
I thought that was really good.
No, because how do you save yourself on a 30-day free trial? It should have been you get a free 30-day trial. See, this is why you should do Audible. I don't even know why I started doing the fucking Audible. It's like
I was really surprised, but I was just going to roll with it.
No, I can't. You can't roll with it if it don't work. It's like driving on a flat.
A flat?
Like a flat tire.
Oh, a flat tire.
Yeah, I'm going for a metaphor
like
here.
Salt flats.
If you go to audibletrial.com/freaknet, you get yourselves a 30-day free trial plus a credit to your first book purchase. Make sure you check out audibletrial.com/freaknet. Because audiobooks are a lot better than reading them yourselves. I'll say it. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Thanks, Joe. We're also
you know what else I agree about?
Yeah, what's up, Joe?
Is that if you're listening to this podcast, you should head over to ballwash.com. Is that the right place? We're sponsored by them.
Yes.
And get yourself some fantastic products for your masculine hygiene issues. You know, they've got nut rubs, they've got, shampoo, they've got conditioner, they've got, soap. It's all great. It's all for your manly garden. And, you ought to tend it. So head on over to ballwash.com. Use it. Is there a discount code? Is it Freaknet?
It is Freaknet, Joe.
Excellent. I don't usually listen or pay attention. I just wait until you're done talking and then jump in with Audible. But it's a silly name for a serious product. Head on over there, buy some. It'll help, with everything. It's great. It's good stuff. Head on over, get it. It'll, as Travis said, it'll clean you head to toe, hole to hole.
Nice. I like how you jumped in there, Joe. I appreciate that. I felt like I botched the entire intro here. I will tell you though that in my 31 years of life, the fact that you said manly garden, it made the word manscape make complete sense to me.
Oh, nice.
I never understood the whole concept of manscaping. Like I understand what it is, but the fact that that's a word, I never fucking understood it. But then you refer to it as a manly garden, and I'm in it. I dig it.
Nice. I just went where the words took me. I wasn't even thinking.
I beg your pardon. I never promised you a manly garden. Anyways.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
I forget Ripley Street. I think we found our new theme song.
Right. Speaking of which, Joe, I had an opportunity to see Ripley Street this past weekend.
Nice. How was it?
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't got a chance, I posted some videos on Instagram, some brief videos of them doing our theme song live. So obviously our theme song Back Again by Ripley Street you hear every time the episode begins. That's played by a local band that I've been watching for well over a decade. And they gave us the opportunity to use their song, as our own. You can check out the live, version of it, on the Instagram page, This Freakin' Show. But also I completely forgot, but they are actually on those touch tune, game, fucking those
jukeboxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So they are available on those. They're actually on Spotify as well. So if you get a chance, so if you get a chance, check out Ripley Street, Ripley Street. Check them out, listen to them. They're absolutely amazing. They're working on their third CD, it should be their third CD. I know they said they have a new CD coming out. I think it's the third one. Could be fourth. I can't quite remember. I was drinking a lot on Saturday. But one of the songs off that new CD is planned to be our new theme song, because I did kind of touch base with them because we're supposed to have a new theme song for the new season. Unfortunately, because of their busy schedule and obviously because of COVID happening, it just kind of pushed everything off to where they could finish up the CD. And I asked them about it, and they said they'd really like to get the CD released before we use one of their songs, which I completely understand. I'm fine with that. So hopefully coming soon. They're getting together. They're getting the CD put together and created. So as soon as that happens, we should have a new theme song. We'll see if it happens. I did happen to mention that our 5-year show anniversary is coming up on November 3rd, which lines up if we do a show every week till then, which that is the plan. Our 5-year anniversary episode will also be our season finale episode. So I'm hoping by November 1st we should be able to debut our new theme song. So
nice.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for that to happen. Again, 2020 is pretty cool for us, and a lot of shit happening, especially at least up until October. Because obviously this freaky show is coming. If you guys are following us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, you'll see that we have our new logo / banner out there with Travesty and the Freak Joe. It's 1 month a year the Geekcast Joe gets to kind of take a break from me and go do whatever Geekcast Joe does, and then Freak Joe will kind of sub in for him, and we get to enjoy our time together. So, we got a lot going on in October. We will talk about that later on in the show. We are going to start our presidential bracket that we're going to do, as we mentioned last week. We're going to take care of that as well. But before we do have to dive into what freaking happened this week. So, Joe, do you want to go first, or would you like me to?
I would like you to.
Okay. It's because you don't have one.
Yep.
Excellent.
I forgot about it for some reason. We did this every week for the last, year and a half.
Yes.
I just can't remember.
If it makes you feel better, Joe, this segment is over at the end of the season, so you only got 3 more months of it.
Oh, good to know.
Yes. September, October, 2. About 2 months. About 10 weeks. Yeah, about 10 weeks left. And then we got to start a whole new segment. I don't know what that's going to be yet. Anyways, on August 23rd, 1973, was the event that came about the creation of Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh.
Stockholm Syndrome is when hostages bond with their captors. It takes its name from a hostage crisis that began on August 23rd, 1973, in which Jan Erik Olsen, which I hope I pronounced that right.
Sounds right. I don't know.
Right. It says Jan, but I believe in a foreign country like Switzerland, I believe it's Jan. I'm just going to go with that. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'm going to go off the assumption that his name is Jan.
That sounds right to me. It's, yeah.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it.
I went to Scandinavian seminary, so I think Jan is right.
So Jan, perfect. So Jan Erik Olsen, while on parole, made a failed attempt to rob a bank in Stockholm, Sweden. Instead, he ended up taking 4 people hostage. Olsen then demanded his friend Clark Olofsson be released from prison and brought to where they were located. Olsen and Clark held the hostages in the bank vault for 6 days, often threatening to kill them. When the hostages were finally released, none of them would testify against their captors and even began raising money for their defense. The following year, Patty Hearst was taken hostage and joined her captors in robbing banks. She would claim Stockholm Syndrome as her defense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like opportunism to me, but...
Yeah, I actually kind of remember that girl. She was on one of the podcasts. I can't remember which one. It's one of the podcasts, and they do so many on crimes and all this other shit. I do remember that, that it was almost, it was during that rebellion time and shit, and I believe this one was in America, the Hearst one. Gotcha. The whole guerrilla warfare bullshit going on, and, But I do remember hearing about that because she claimed Stockholm syndrome and got off. So
Whack.
yeah. What are you, Joe? What you got?
On August 27th, way back in 1955, I looked at the wrong entry for a second there. The Guinness Book of World Records was founded. So, compiled by student twins Norris and Ross McWhirter, it was published for the first time and became an instant success. The book was originally owned by the Guinness Brewery, which is where it gets its name, and is currently owned by the Jim Pattison Group, which is the same company that owns Ripley Entertainment. So, like Ripley's Believe It or Not. The Guinness Book of Records holds its own record as the world's most sold copyrighted book. Yeah.
Well, thank you, beer. Once again, you make life exciting.
Making the world interesting, even if you're sober and a child.
Right. The first time where fat twins mean something in life.
Right?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, Joe. We mentioned last week we're going to do a bracket. Guys, if you had a chance to check out last week's episode, we did the conspiracy comparisons between Lincoln and Kennedy. And because of doing that, we mentioned how much of a badass Lincoln actually was, bare knuckle boxing and all that jazz. It gave us the idea to kind of do a who is the badass in the president world. So we decided to bracket it out and kind of figure it out for ourselves and stuff. So we're doing a bracket of 32. Obviously, there were 45 presidents, so some of them didn't make the cut. We'll honorable mention the ones who didn't make the cut at the end. Joe, I sent you my list. Are you okay with that list? Is there anyone on it you want to change or should sub out or anything like that?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Excellent. All right. So, we'll mention the ones who didn't make it. I'll give you the reasons why I feel they didn't make it. And, how we're going to do this is, I took all the presidents, obviously 1 through 32 that we decided to use. I randomized their numbers. I randomized the numbers on the bracket we're going to use. I'm going to have Joe pick a number off the list, and that number is going to go into the next line into the bracket, so on and so forth, all the way down. And I'm going to try to do it as like more of like the college sports playoff kind of bracket concepts where one faces like seed bracketing. I guess that's what you call it. That's the proper term for it. If it's not, It is now. Thank you. So, Joe's going to pick a number. I'm going to go ahead and put it into here. I guess to make this go by a little bit quicker, I will mention the names as we go through. And also just to give you guys an idea of how this is working. I put the first 4 in there who I just want to have at the top. I think they're the ultimate badasses. So number 1 is Teddy Roosevelt. Number 2 is Abraham Lincoln. Number 3 is George Washington. Number 4 is Dwight D. Eisenhower. So now it's going to be up to Joe to fill in slots 5 through 32. And we're going to run through this real quick. And also just a little fun fact about this list as well. I promise this is going to get more fun. Please don't find this boring and leave. Promise you guys. I wanted to see how many people were actually military based, how many people were leaders in the military and stuff like that as we're doing it. So out of the 32 people that we have on here, 12 of them were actual generals in the military. 3 lieutenants, 3 captains, 2 majors, 3 colonels, 2 commanders, and 7 people had no experience in the military at all. So it's not all based on military. It's not all based on war and stuff like that. It's their toughness overall. So.
Gotcha. Nice.
So Joey, just 1 through 28, just throw out a number. I'll tell you who it is, where they're going, and who they're facing, and stuff like that. And we'll just mark it off as we go. And if you double up on a number, I'll already make a note of it, so you don't have to worry about accidentally saying the same number twice. Because I don't expect you to memorize 28 different random numbers.
Perfect.
Cool. All right, Joe. 1 through 28. Throw a number out there.
4.
4. Okay, so number 4 is William H. Harrison. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just had to move the mic out of the way a little bit. So William H. Harrison is going into the... Holy shit.
Sorry, I'm looking for a piece of paper. My desk is very squeaky.
It's the devil. All right, so William H. Harrison is going up against Theodore Roosevelt. What's your next one, Joe?
13.
13 is James Madison, and he's going up against Abraham Lincoln. What's the next one, Joe?
22.
22. 22 is Martin Van Buren. And he's not facing anyone as of yet, but what about what's your next one, Joe? I don't know what I'm going to tell you.
15.
All right, James Garfield. 17, Joe. I'm sorry, not 17. Next number, Joe. My bad.
Yeah, you're good. Let me. Here, sorry.
No, you're fine,
man. 1.
All right, William McKinley. And I hope I spell these names right. And I'll definitely, I do plan on putting this up on our Facebook pages, so I'll make sure the names are spelled right. So William McKinley is taking on Martin Van Buren. And who you got next, Joe?
17.
All right, 17 is Gerald Ford.
Nice.
And he'll be taking on James Garfield. Nice. What you got next, Joe?
9.
9, Chester Arthur.
One of the most powerful sideburns in the game.
Right. Almost mutton chop like.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, what you got next, Joe?
28.
28 is Rutherford B. Hayes.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I wish there were more Rutherfords in this world.
I know, right?
It's such a nice name.
Really good.
Yeah. All right, what we got next, Joe?
5.
5, we got Grover Cleveland, the only guy to go 2-time, double up, not consecutive 2-time.
Right. Non-consecutive terms.
Which is bad. Do you think we'd ever see that again?
I don't know. Probably not.
Like, I know, like, realistically, looking at, oh god, and that's another bonus. I'm hoping to learn more about presidents. But lately, like, every president we've had done their 8-year term maxes. So it had to be like a 4-year term president. He gets voted out, but then people have to find faith in him again to come back. Yep. So we will see. So Grover Cleveland's going to take on MacArthur. Chester MacArthur? No, it's just Chester Arthur.
Chester A. Arthur.
Hey, there we go. I knew there was an initial fucking missing. All right. Go ahead and pick the next number, and this person's going to take on Rutherford B. Hayes.
19.
Okay, let's fucking Kennedy.
Ooh.
Fucking Kennedy. You guys are also going to notice that John F. Kennedy, obviously we know, is known for having massive back problems, as well as FDR is on the list here somewhere, and obviously suffering from polio. We're going to need to revert them back to a younger age before they were fucking like that, because everyone deserves a chance. Trust me, this make-believe thing is going to work out. Alright, Kennedy. I don't think I've been fucking... Yeah, maybe I have. I don't fucking know. We're going to find out. Alright, Joe, who's next?
25.
25 is General of the North, Ulysses S. Grant.
Nice.
Ulysses S. Grant. Okay. Next one?
7.
7. Ronald Reagan.
Nice.
The original.
Tear down this wall.
The original movie star of the political life. I think he was in a movie with a monkey, right? Is that what he was really known for?
I think so.
I think Clint Eastwood also did a movie with a monkey.
I feel like everyone did for a little while there.
I want Clint Eastwood to run for president just so he could have the chair as VP. Oh, God. All right. Who is taking on Grant, Joe?
11.
11. Benjamin Harrison.
Nice. William Henry Harrison's grandson.
Right. I think I have William in here somewhere too.
Mm-hmm.
The world we live in. All right, Benjamin Harrison is taking on Grant. So who is taking on Ronald Reagan?
3.
3. John Tyler.
Nice. Tippecanoe.
What's
his nickname?
Oh, Tippecanoe. I think Parks and Rec taught me that. Anyways, all right. Okay, so number 3 seed George Washington is taking on who, Joe?
27.
Zach Taylor.
Nice.
Good.
And Taylor too.
How is your presidential knowledge, Joe?
It used to be stronger, I gotta say.
Excellent. All right,
I haven't used it.
Well, now we get to use it.
Yeah.
All right, who is taking on Dwight D. Eisenhower?
12.
Number 12. Dwight D. Eisenhower will be taking on Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Damn.
All right. It's the battle of the D's. Anyways, okay. So we got FDR. He's taken. Who is next, Joe?
24.
24. Andrew Johnson. Which we actually talked about Andrew Johnson a little bit last week as he took over for Lincoln after the assassination. Joe, what we got next?
14.
14 is John Quincy Adams.
Yes! The only president, as far as I know, who returned to the Senate after his presidential terms ended.
Really? Hmm? Now is he the son of the original John Adams? Is that correct?
Yep.
That doesn't happen too often.
Mm-mm.
We saw it with the Bushes. You mentioned earlier Harrison's grandparent to grandson. So maybe it happens more than I think. We'll figure it out.
I think that's all of them. I think you just named them all.
Excellent. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, and then was it Roosevelt's for cousins? So
right, that's true.
All right, who is taking on Andrew Johnson, Joe?
Did I say 14 already?
14 was John Quincy Adams.
Okay, great. 21 then.
All right, Andrew Johnson is taking on Tricky Dicky himself, Richard Nixon.
Oh, nice.
God damn it, Joe.
That's my Nixon impression.
Excellent. All right, so John Quincy Adams, who is he taking on?
16.
16. William Taft. If I remember correctly, I believe this is going to be the heavyweight of the battles.
Yeah, he is.
He got stuck in a tub, right?
Yes, he did.
Nice.
They had to bring a crane in.
Oh, God. Poor Taft. I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. I never got stuck in a tub, but also I'm not dumb enough to take a tubbers.
Yeah. So. He also, he's the president who is responsible for throwing out the first pitch as a tradition.
Really?
Yep. It was in order to make him look more fit than he was. He's like, I'll play America's game and I'll throw a baseball.
Goddamn. Fucking Taft.
Yep.
That could be a dark horse, man. That
right?
Could be a dark horse.
Like the Blob from X-Men.
All right, who you got next? We got 8 slots left.
26.
26. John Quincy Adams' father, John Adams.
Nice.
So we could actually see Adams versus Adams. I'm excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What you got next, Joe?
2.
James K. Polk.
Nice. One of my favorite presidents.
Is it the name?
No, it's he promised that he would only run for one term, and he would do everything he completed in that term, and then retire. And that's what he did.
What a guy.
Yep.
That's integrity. That is fucking integrity, bud.
Yeah. He also is the reason that they play Hail to the Chief when presidents come into the room. Because he was such a small and unremarkable person that most of the time when he entered a room, no one knew. And it pissed him off, so he started making the military band play Hail to the Chief every time he entered a room.
Oh, God. Who's taking on John Adams, Joe?
20.
Okay. Herbert Hoover.
Hoover! Inventor of a Hoover ball.
How about
It's like volleyball, but with medicine balls.
Also the namesake of the dam. I'm assuming?
That's true.
Okay, cool. Because I also know there was another Hoover somewhere, right?
I honestly don't know. Probably.
Who was the director of the FBI?
Yes, Edgar J. Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover, you're right.
Is it Edgar? Is his first name Edgar?
No, it's J. Edgar, you're right.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but as soon as you said it, I knew I was wrong.
Was he the guy that everyone, he was the guy that was rumored to wear dresses and shit, right?
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
Huh. Maybe. I heard on Corky Romano. Who knows? Anyways, gotcha. Who's gonna be taking on James Polk here, Joe?
8.
James Monroe.
Nice. The Battle of the Gyms.
Jimmy. All right, let me look here real quick. I believe we have 6, 10, 18
and 23?
And 23, yep.
Nice.
All right, what do we got next here, Joe?
18.
18 is Lyndon B. Johnson. Yes. Which I believe took over for Kennedy, right? Yeah, that's the right one.
He did. He also liked to challenge diplomats to literal dick measuring contests.
What a man. Oh, yeah, we mentioned him last week, too, in the Lincoln Kennedy comparison.
Yep.
Both Johnsons. Yep. Literal dick measuring. All right, Joe, who's next?
10.
10 would be Andrew Jackson, the $20 bill man.
Yep. Possibly the most murderous president we've ever had.
He was the one whose vice president was Burr.
No, Burr was Jefferson's.
Jefferson, okay. Way earlier. Why do you say murderous, Joe? What do I not know about Jackson?
Oh, he just he loved to challenge people to duels, and he won basically every duel he ever fought in. One time he actually was shot during a duel, lived, and killed the other guy.
You know, and that's one of the things I did kind of notice about this, and we'll talk a little bit more about it when I dive into the honorable mentions who didn't make it. But a lot of the people on these lists, well, you know, let's finish the last 2 and then I'll talk about it. I don't want to wander too way for it. Okay, 6 or 23?
Let's do 6.
Okay, so Lyndon B. Johnson is going to take on George H.W. Bush.
Battle for the ages.
Yes, taking on the adult Bush. Which leaves number 23 as Franklin Pierce.
I know nothing about Franklin Pierce. I gotta be honest.
There was something interesting about him that I saw, and I'll have to pull it up and check it out. But there was something about the dude. I think like when I looked at it, like when I was looking at like all the pictures of all the presidents, he was the one that seemed like the most douchey.
Gotcha.
But I know there was more to it. There's something about him that had to do with fighting and like, you know, like wasn't worried about like, you know, he wasn't afraid to step up to people.
Gotcha.
So let me save this real quick just in case I lose it. So save, dun. Perfect. Okay. So one thing I did notice when we were doing this is a lot of the guys who are on this list were either really early or really late. There was that middle of like 4 people in a row that didn't make the cut. I also noticed that a lot of the older pitchers, obviously presidents never really smiled.
Right.
I can't even think about like which ones actually did smile. I know Kennedy smiled.
Right.
Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, and all them, but Bush.
I think for a long time it wasn't fashionable in photographs because it took so long to do them.
Yeah, I thought it was like a weakness thing.
Oh, maybe
like the smile and like I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at it because I want to see because I know like obviously Trump, Obama, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Reagan, Carter, Ford. If I did that in order, I know all of them smiled. All of them have smiled, and I'm sure it goes back beyond that. But I don't know, just like, I mean, like, you think like when the president makes their official portrait, there's no smiling. Like, like Washington didn't fucking smile, but I think at the same time Washington didn't want to fucking be president.
That's true. That's true. It was thrust upon him. Although once it was decided he would be the president, he really wanted his title to be His Majesty the President.
Yeah, but they didn't do that, did they?
Funny thing. No, they didn't. They were like, no, that's stupid. You're an idiot. And he was like, fair.
Yeah, fair. Also, no vice president. Vice president wasn't a thing then.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think because I tried to look up a lot of shit and try to find how everything kind of panned out. Like I said, like I looked up, their military, were they military, were they not? And shit like that, health issues, political parties and stuff like that, which I actually did do that. I didn't number it out, but I totally forgot until we started doing this that there was actually a political party in the early days called the Democratic Republican.
Yep.
Yeah. We got a couple Whig parties. We got Democrats, we got Republicans. We got Andrew Johnson, who had no political affiliation. Then obviously Democrat Republicans, Washington didn't have a political party he was associated with, but anyway, honorable mention, guys, people who did not make our list, if you, didn't hear the names as I was calling them out. Thomas Jefferson didn't make it. I felt that maybe like, more of a brainiac, more of a brain than brawn, smart guy. He was a colonel in the military. Just, he never saw any kind of action. Don't know why, just he didn't, so I didn't put him in there. Miller Fillmore, again, he was a major in the military, had his own militia. His militia never saw battle. They kind of just like paraded around to kind of promote the war efforts and stuff. Wasn't a big fan of that. James Buchanan, he was really fidgety, kind of a nervous guy, so when it came to fighting, I don't think he'd be able to hang. Woodrow Wilson, poor medical history. I think he was like diabetic, partially blind, shit like that. So, took him out. Warren G. Harding, again, health issues. I think this dude ate like a pound of bacon a day.
Damn.
Yeah, just nothing there. Calvin Coolidge, huge introvert, kept to himself, didn't like being around people. So, I'm gonna go with that nervous kind of feeling again, same as Buchanan. Harry S. Truman, I found out that a lot of the shit that he succeeded with was just dumb luck. Not really driven to anything, just like good things kind of just happened to keep falling into his lap.
Nice.
So I put no drive. Jimmy Carter, I went same as Jefferson, more brains, more, plus Jimmy Carter, great fucking guy. Building homes for, people and shit like that. Awesome fucking guy.
Right.
Yeah. Bill Clinton, I also, health-wise, they said he was, one of the more heavy-set presidents, not so much taft-hazly, but more of a heavy-set president. He was also allergic to like a bunch of different shit, like mold and pollen and dust and all this other stuff, so. George W. Bush, no, frat boy who became president, not in it to win it. I've seen Harold and Kumar. He's not it. Obama, same as, Carter and Jefferson. I think he was more of an intellect than he was like a brawler. Athletic in college, played basketball and shit like that out in Hawaii. Just I see him as being more of a talker than a fighter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Donald Trump, more of a businessman, more of a, he'll hire someone to do his shit for him.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
so they didn't make it. There, Harry Truman, George W. Bush, and Thomas Jefferson. Same as Buchanan, all military men. Buchanan was only a private, so he was the only military-based president who didn't have a commanding title.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
The fidgety guy was a private.
Gotcha.
So, cool. So we got our list. Joe will explain more about how we're going to do this next week as we move on from it, because this is new for me, but because of GCL, you kind of have some experience with brackets. So,
yep.
Cool. So I'll post that up on our Facebook page weekly, so you guys can check it out. And then we'll talk about next week on how it's going to work and how we're going to move forward with it. And speaking of moving forward, I want to take this opportunity to talk about this freaky show. Joe, I'm more excited for this year's This Freaky Show than I've ever been for any year's This Freaky Show.
Nice.
And I think it's because we are trying to do a lot more stuff for our listeners, for our viewers and everything, not only here on our Audible or audio podcast, but the video stuff that we've been doing over on YouTube for the Freakin Studios page.
Right.
And one of the things that we did decide we wanted to do is kind of tour some of the local cemeteries here in Illinois, as we both live here in the great 18th state of Illinois.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be excellent. I'm really very excited about it.
So we're looking at doing this the right legal way. We're not sneaking into cemeteries at night. We're going to go when the cemeteries are open. We're going to be respectful to the cemetery, because the biggest thing to remember is, even though we're doing it for content, we're doing it for views, we're doing it for entertainment, these are still resting places of people who have passed away. I know we're going to explore the cemeteries, as the surroundings, but we're not going to do anything that is disrespectful to the people who are resting there, as well as the families of those people. So, but we are going to talk a little bit about the history of the cemeteries and some of the what's the word, Joe? The fucking spooky occurrences that happen, but there's a term for it.
Haunted?
Yeah, what the fuck is the word? I can't think of the word. Anyways, we're going to talk about some of the things that happen with it. Some of the things that have occurred there that people have noticed and shit like that. We're gonna bring a camera. We're going to check it out, and just kind of look at the shit, give a brief history and stuff like that. As Joe, have we decided if you're going or Freak Joe's going to this?
If it's October, I think it's the Freak Joe.
Is it the Freak Joe? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Although he'll probably be dressed like Cartoon Joe from the vlogs.
Right. Maybe different glasses.
Yeah.
Maybe Freak Joe glasses.
Yeah.
Excellent. But yeah, no, so, we're looking at cemeteries. We came across this 13 top scariest, cemeteries in, Illinois. Which I did find out, Joe, if you remember looking at the list, Resurrection Cemetery wasn't on that list.
Oh, gotcha.
Dumb. So I added Resurrection Cemetery into it. So out of the 14 cemeteries we could have looked at, we decided for the first year to try to stay local and try to group them together.
Nice.
So we came up with a list of 8 cemeteries that we're going to check out. They're all within the Chicagoland area, so we're going to check out the Aux Sable Cemetery in Morris, the Moon Creek Cemetery out in Streator. We're going to check out the Massac Mausoleum in Spring Valley, Bloods Point Cemetery in Flora Township, Mount Olivet Cemetery in Aurora, Showman's Rest in Forest Park, Resurrection Cemetery in Justice, wrapping it up with Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Midlothian. They're going to be released throughout the entire month of October. Our overall goal is to release 2 of them a week for the 4 weeks that we are doing this freaky show. Don't know how long the videos are going to be because this is new for both of us. We the original plan was to do this with like haunted houses and stuff like that. That unfortunately, because of COVID-19, we're not allowed to do that. So social distancing, might as well do it at a cemetery. So
Nice.
I'm excited to do that. I know at least for 3 of the weeks, we're going to be doing a lot of ranking style games that you guys have seen us doing in the recent months and everything. The first week we're going to talk about serial killers and stuff like that. Second week we're going to talk about haunted places in Illinois, in the country, in the world, all over the world, just haunted places. The third week we're going to talk about movie monsters and movie killers, and then hopefully the fourth week wraps up with a guest that I'm hoping to have on if I can get everything figured out. So a lot of awesome things happening this coming Halloween season. This freaky show is one of the bigger series that we do on the show. I'm really happy about it. We're also looking at doing the Freaky Tales, as we always do every year, as the Freak Joe gets to read a spooky story for you guys. And the overall goal is to make those stories ones that we created. So that's something we got to work on. We're on it. We got this.
I'm into it. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Excellent. So, so I think that's it for that. What am I missing, Joe? Am I missing something?
Is there anything you've been freaking thinking about this week?
Yes. And I'm gonna make you decide, Joe. My freaking thinking is kind of it's something negative that came up over the past week. I do want to talk about. So it's kind of a rant. So do you want to go first to get yours out of the way, or do you want to wait till I'm done?
You can go first.
Excellent, cool. Guys, in about, I want to say it's 5 weeks from now, we're having our 200th episode. And, I posted something on my Facebook story on my personal page about the Ask Us Anything that we're doing. If you guys don't remember, we did that, the season finale of season 3, where I allowed you guys to ask questions and shit like that. Just as a way to kind of like, you guys get a chance to know us more, and we get a chance to be more open and honest about who we are, within reason. I can't stress that enough, within reason. It's just a fun thing we like doing. It gets you guys involved. It gets our listeners involved in the show.
Right.
If you guys
Something tells me that something was asked without reason, but go on.
Yeah. If you guys are friends with me on my personal page, which my personal page, I don't really involve people that I don't know on my personal page. So I do have a lot of listeners who are my friends on Facebook who listen to this show. If you guys are listening to this show and you're not on my personal page, it's nothing against you. It's just I use it specifically for people I know. If you want, you can follow us on our Facebook page at This Freakin' Show. You can like, subscribe to that, message us through there. We'll be happy to answer anything through there as well. I got one question from somebody, and it wasn't even more of a question. It was more of like a recommendation thing. And it wasn't, I want to see how I can fucking word this to where it doesn't sound dumb, because I read it and it sounded fucking dumb. So, it talked about how, basically we need to talk more about politics and the events that are happening in the world and not be so afraid of doing that. It's fucking, I'm not gonna pull up my phone right now, but it basically says it's like you need to quit being cowards and talk about the events that are happening in the world. Some shit like that.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna give an example of how this works. Let's say that's the question we would have used on our 20th episode. We'll just use it now.
Sure.
So my answer to that is, this freaking show is not a political podcast. Very beginning, we talked about how we're not going to talk about politics and we're not going to talk about religion on the show. We happen to mention politics once in a while when we play a goofy game about which president we are, about which political party we're actually more associated with, goofy shit like that. I get that there's a lot of bad shit happening in the world right now. Sometimes we find the light side of certain things, like when we do the My Corona games. Yeah, maybe it's a joking game based on COVID-19. We don't make fun of anything that's COVID-19 related because everything that's going on COVID-19 related is very serious. We're just finding a light way to bring something into a very dark thing. Right. Joey, please stop me if I'm wrong with anything.
Nope. Okay. I'm on board so far.
Thanks. So, I get that they want to talk about all the protesting, all the rioting, all the looting, all the death, and everything that's fucking happening. The thing is, that's not what this podcast is about. We'll bring up current event stuff if it's necessary. We have stressed multiple times on this podcast about my political views differing from Joey's political views, and to avoid any kind of debate that leads into an argument. I'm not saying it will happen, but it could happen. We don't do that here. It's not us being cowards. It's just us realizing what our podcast is about, which is about music and movies and games and comics and just current events, what's going on in our lives and shit like that. So to say that we're cowardly is wrong, because it's not that we're ignoring and avoiding what's going on in the world. We're well aware of what's going on in the fucking world. Right. Joey probably more than me, because Joey lives in a city where things like this are happening on a daily, weekly basis. I'm fortunate enough to not live around stuff like that, so I don't have to have that kind of worry. But Joey does. Joey lives closer to Chicago than I do.
Right. I live in Chicago.
Yeah. So to say that we're cowards for not talking about it is not that. It's just I'm not putting content onto the show that does not relate to our fucking show. There's other podcasts for that. You can listen to Doug Gray Area, who does a lot of political talk and discussion and events and everything on his podcast, because that's his podcast and he does a good job with that. He does a good job talking about the events that are happening. He gives his point of views, whether you guys agree or disagree with it. He does that, and he's always honest about how he believes. So if you guys want to hear about that stuff, you can listen to Doug Gray Area, because that's what his podcast associates more with. We do not. So when we do a ranking system on presidents who could beat who up, that's just a fun game about presidents who could beat who up. It's not going to turn into some Republican versus Democrat thing. It's not going to turn into, some kind of bullshit about how, I believe this guy just because of his political party, or Joey believes this guy because of his political party, because the political parties don't take any account into this. It's just who we think based on their career, who's a bigger badass. It's a fun fucking game. Just like my Corona was a fun fucking game. Just like the quizzes that we did on the websites were just fun fucking games. It's not cowardly to not talk about something because it's not part of the structure of the show. So, anything you'd like to add to that, Joe?
No, I don't think I could have said that better myself.
Awesome. So, I encourage you guys to go ahead and ask us questions. Just don't give statements asking us why we're being cowards by not talking about stuff like this. Because I'd rather not talk about stuff like this, because there's a lot of anger and shit going on in the world. And I'd like to have the hour and a half of my day, like right now, to where I could focus on enjoyable conversations with my family as I'm doing, than having to deal with shit that's on TikTok, on Facebook, and Snapchat stories that's on the fucking news and everything like that, because it's too fucking depressing to have to watch day in and day out.
So. Yeah, we want this. This isn't just a respite for us to have some time to relax and just be goofy. This is for you guys listening at home. You have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have YouTube. If you want to hear political commentary, it's out there. If you happen to find me on Facebook, you can go watch my sermons. I preach about political stuff all the fucking time.
Yep.
Here, this space, this hour and a half, this is just for fun.
Yeah.
We're not here to solve the world's problems. We're here to make fart jokes and talk about what happened in history that is not serious, like the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah. No, exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
It's, that's why, like, when we have guests on, it's more like the fun-filled shit, like comic books and movies and stuff like that. It's like we
not even to say that the content of those things aren't political, but that's not what we're discussing. We're talking about the entertainment value of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we do encourage you guys to do to ask us questions. Feel free to do so. Just don't use it as a way to point out that we're doing something wrong, because we believe we're not doing something wrong. I mean, we're doing this for almost 5 years now, and our fan base and our viewership is growing every single week. So clearly we're doing something right. If our podcast isn't what you feel it should be, there's other podcasts out there that I encourage you to check out if you're looking for something else. But this isn't going to turn into a political thing. Like I said, once in a while there may be mention of political stuff, but it's not in a negative way or to tear down one side or another. It's just to keep updated on what's going on in the world in some way, shape, and form. Like when we turn the COVID stuff into like a little mini game. It's informative to you guys, and it turns into a game for us. But it's not like we're not talking about statistical numbers. We're just talking about how necessary it is to be locked up, which kind of sucks because it looks like Illinois is going to be locked down again here in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Unfortunate. But I'm not talking about statistics and numbers and shit like that. So I encourage you guys to continue to listen to our show, but realize that in the 5 years, we're not changing who we are. It's the same stuff every single day. So when you catch a political thing that's mentioned on our show, more times than not, it's just a quick, small little update thing that, is a topical conversation for a brief period, or it's going to be part of some goofy ass fucking game like which political party you are, which president you are, or what president can kick whose ass. So, that's what we get here. So I do encourage you again. Ask your questions, make it fun, make it goofy. You could ask Cartoon Joe, how many bow ties do you own?
You could ask that.
Yeah.
And I would probably say 13, but I'm not sure if that's right.
Right. Right. I just want something that shows like all these bow ties, like literally tied, but they're like hanging on the back of your like closet door, like shoes or belts.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Right. Anyways.
That's how I should arrange them. I just keep them in a box.
So that's my brief little rant about what I'm freaking thinking about. Again, guys, I encourage you to participate and to ask us anything, because it was a lot of fun. We did our season finale. I did get a couple questions that are really fucking fun. I'm excited to do with Joe. And yes, Joe, the how many ties was one of the questions. So I did get a couple that were fun-filled ones. I'm excited to ask Joe about and to answer myself. Just keep it light, keep it fun, keep it enjoyable, and just think, is this something that this freaking show wants on their show?
Right.
So, what about you, Joe? What are you freaking thinking about?
I haven't really done anything fun this week. What's on my mind the most is how busy this week has been for me. Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have one fun thing coming up. Rob Bass over on Geekcast Live, he is getting married in October, and this weekend's going to be his bachelor party. So it should be fun. I'm very nervous about it. I'm not going to lie. It's by far and away the biggest risk I've taken since quarantine started is going to this party. But it's in Fowler. It's out at Kenny and Kevin's. So it's going to be very well socially distanced in terms of that. It's mostly going to be in the pool, and experts are saying, pool time for the most part is pretty safe. It's going to be all outside. We're going to sleep outside. But we got people coming from lots of different places, and that makes me nervous. But I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a really good time. We're going to honor my guy, Rob Bass. And I think it's mostly going to be a really, really good time, and I'm really looking forward to it. And after this week where, we had to take one of my cats to the emergency vet 2 times, and we finally got his health issues sorted, and we're in the process of buying a house. We're really excited about that, but it's just, that first week is such a whirlwind, because you've got like 5 days to do this and 2 days to do that, and you got to get your transcripts because you got to prove that you were in school when you weren't working, and it's just, I don't know. It's been a very, very exhausting week. And I'm looking forward to this break with my buddies. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, congrats to Rob. That's really awesome. What was that? I guess you can't even call him GCR because you already have a GCR. Geekcast Rob.
Sure, we just call him Rob Bass.
Rob Bass. Well, congrats to Rob. I hope you enjoy your bachelor party with him. Guys, again, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at This Freakin' Show. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube so you can check out the upcoming videos of the cemetery tour of Freak Joe and Travesty. Me and Cartoon Joe here, we do a weekly video vlog about dieting. We kind of break from that for the remainder of this month. We're going to pick it up in September as we're going to revamp it into more of a diet journey, not a diet test and go kind of thing. So really excited for the new concept that we're going to bring to you guys as far as that goes, because you're really going to dive more into our personal lives and how our individual journeys are going to affect us going forward. This freaky show, if you guys check out the banner on social media, that is going to be released on our TeePublic site, our store, tpublic.com. Search TFS for This Freaky Show. That banner is going to be available on our merchandise there. We're not going to release apparel this time around, just because I just don't like the way it looks, and I want you guys to actually enjoy the products you buy. But stickers, magnets, pins, coffee mugs, pillows, posters, tapestries, cell phone cases, laptop cases, all that's going to be available with our This Freaky Show logo on it. So make sure you check that out. We'll release that closer to October, so you guys can kind of enjoy that throughout the month as well. Also, I want to do something, Joe. I forgot to mention this to us, but it's up to you as well, because this is your show too. Next month is Suicide Awareness Month. And I think it's one of the important ones we do need to be aware of, as suicide numbers don't decrease annually. There's always people out there that are looking to reach out to people. I'm going to put the suicide hotline number in our show notes throughout the month of September, just so you guys can see it, and then maybe we could mention it at the end of every episode in September. What do you think?
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that's a good idea.
Excellent.
You know, especially, I mean, with COVID, I think isolation is a much bigger problem than it's been in the past. Yep. And, you know, especially with Illinois probably going back into lockdown, like you said. I mean, I imagine we're going to be seeing some stuff. And not even, I mean, that doesn't even include, you know, the economic stuff that's been happening. People losing jobs, people losing the unemployment benefit, people not having health care. I mean, it's a time, man. It's not a good time.
Yeah. So we talked about it with our buddy Clint, like last year or the year before that. If you guys want to reach out, I encourage you to do so. You can message us, on Facebook, thisfreakinshow@yahoo.com if you feel the need to talk to somebody. No judgment here whatsoever. But we will put the number out there at the end of every episode in September, to raise awareness for, suicide prevention. Make sure you listen to our show every single week on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean by searching This Freakin' Show. I do believe we're going to be up on Pandora as well as Audible here shortly, as soon as those get settled, so we'll be able to be reached there as well. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you rate and review us, because those do help us out as well. Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Every week our listeners catch Cartoon Joe here on This Freakin' Show. But if an hour of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough for our listeners, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over at the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Android Podcast, Google Podcast, I don't remember, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
It's weird not being able to say Google Play anymore.
It is. It's so much easier just to say Google Play. Google, why are you always changing stuff? I know you're listening to me.
Right. Let's start a movement. Google Pod. Can we just start that? Google Pod?
Yeah.
That's a new thing. Let's see how long it takes Google to steal that. Oh, we'll just call it Google Pod. Oh, yeah. Hear it here first. Guys, check out freaknetstudios.com. Check out all the amazing podcasts associated with the network. Just Freakin' Wrestling, This Freakin' Show, and The Gray Area. I did mention last week or something like that I thought about doing another episode or another show related to sports. I'm still working on that, so we'll see. But again, freaknetstudios.com. Check it out. Follow it on YouTube. Freaknet Studios. Subscribe, check it out. Me and Cartoon Joe put out a lot of content there lately, and so much more coming in October. But that's all I got, guys. As always, I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freakin' Show. I'm out.